Hello, Thunder Wizards. All right, so today we're going to be talking about NOFAP. I've been getting a lot of questions about this subject over a considerable period of time. A lot of people want to understand about this. And so I'm here to clear up the confusion. Listen, there's a ton of confusion out there about what NOFAP really is. Because let's first talk about what the supposed benefits are. So the supposed benefits of NoFap, semen retention, is that you will, on a spiritual level, you will gain spiritual powers. So what kind of spiritual powers can you get from semen retention? Can you get semen retention, powers from semen retention? What does it mean? It is said to increase your self-confidence. And there's a lot of people saying that it will increase testosterone in the body if you're a male, and will make you physically stronger. People have, their whole lives have been changed as a result of this. And so I'm going to tell you, because I have considerable experience in this arena, I'm going to tell you what this is all about, what the real issues are, and what you can expect. And like most of the things that are floating around YouTube, we're talking about something that, when people talk about it, for the most part, you're getting incomplete, if not outright, false information. But that's okay. People are doing their best. A lot of people are sharing their personal experiences, and they're coming to conclusions based on those spiritual experiences, or their personal experiences, which are actually helping them to make assumptions that are not actually true. They're conflating. So conflation is really big here. Do you know what conflation is? Confusion is, I don't know the difference between red and green. I get confused when I look at those colors. That's confusion. Conflation is when you have two or more subjects that may be interrelated that get thrown together. And so when somebody says one thing, they're conflating multiple things. This is what's happening with NoFap and semen retention. People are conflating a bunch of different things together, and they're not realizing the differences. Now, a lot of this has to do with our modern society. The internet age and the age of information has completely, totally shifted our brains. And our brains, people that are growing up, people that are, 30 years old or less, they have no experience of life without devices and internet. And so they're making conclusions based on their life experience, and they're conflating a bunch of things together. And so I'm here to clear up the confusion there. So let's get to what it is that people are talking about when you look online and you see NoFap. What people, most of the time, from what I can tell, what they're talking about is not masturbating to pornography. Now, people don't say that. They'll just say, I'm not masturbating anymore. Or they'll say that they are not watching pornography anymore. Or they'll say, I'm practicing semen retention or celibacy. And these are all very different things. They're not the same thing. And you need to understand this. So the real question is, why are people who are practicing NoFap, why are they having such incredible shifts? Because it has to do, you have to understand all of these different things. So I got to get my notes out here because I have some very detailed notes I want to look at. So, and I'm also going to address why people who are, say, 30 years and younger, and this isn't true. There are some older people that their brains have become morphed into the information age, and so their brains are acting like younger brains. I shouldn't say young, but they're acting like brains that have not been programmed outside of the internet and the device age. So it's not just younger people, but for the most part, it's people 30 years and younger. And of course, the farther you go back, the more intense these conflations become. Okay? So we have to make a difference between celibacy, semen retention, abstention from pornography, and true spiritual semen retention practices. These are all different things. So if I say to you semen retention, what comes to mind? Do you think just not ejaculating, just not having an emission? Is that semen retention? I'm here to tell you that is not semen retention. That's just not releasing. It's just like not taking a dump or not pissing. It's just you're just holding fluids in your body. That's not semen retention. Not saying there isn't any benefit to it. I'm just saying that's not what semen retention is. Are you talking about abstention from masturbation? That is something else. And a third category, are you talking about abstention from pornography or pornography-like stimulation? Like for some people, anime is, in fact, it's the craziest thing. When I come onto Google, I do a lot of Google searches, and a lot of times I am searching for images for these my videos. And so I will type in some completely non-sexual search term, and what comes up on my page is just, so much pornography images of like just some crazy, weird, disgusting, and some of it is anime. Some of it is animation of, monsters with enormous penises, and it's like, what is going on in people's minds that they have to be stimulated to that degree? Just listen, now I can get into it a little bit. There is a difference between how your brain has been programmed based on if you have been raised by the internet and raised by devices. I can guarantee you your brain is wired differently than mine. I can guarantee you that. When I was a kid in the 70s, you were lucky if you could find a Playboy magazine or a Penthouse. Oh my God, Penthouse, that was hardcore. And really all it was just a picture of a non-enhanced female, with no enhancements. And, we were just looking at a nipple or a breast or, oh my God, a belly button even. That was amazing for us. And so if you saw a woman just not even doing anything sexually, just standing there, without her clothes on, that was our idea of pornography. That's to go beyond that was, it was very difficult to get anything, other than that. And it wasn't, and even if you could, the movies were, nothing like today. So what I'm saying is that what normally stimulates a person, visually, just in natural real life, it is nothing now. To see, just a normal, non-enhanced woman for most young guys is not enough. Not even just, normal pornography is not enough. They have to see something really intense. And so now they can't even watch a normal person, real people. They have to have this animation with these monsters with giant penises and, 60-pound breasts. And, and so I don't know what the hell I'm looking at. What is going on with that? So that's a result of overstimulation. Because again, when I was a kid, by the time you were old enough to get your hands on a magazine, you were already into your, you're already pubescent. Nowadays, it's impossible. I just don't know how. I literally do not think it is possible for a parent to prevent prepubescent children from seeing pornography. I don't think it's possible. You'd have to, I mean, you can do everything that you want, but I just don't think that you're going to be able to prevent that from happening. And some of the things that I've heard from a psychologist friend of mine is saying that among young people, among teenagers, their understanding of sex is so warped now that everything is very objectified and everything has to do with anal sex, and there's no difference between like homosexual anal sex or heterosexual. It's just like sex is anal sex. It's just everything is good. There's nothing having to do with personal interaction or any of that stuff. It's all gone. And so this is what's happening. This is why the younger people are, the more problems that they're having when it comes to sex and masturbation. This was 10 years ago,